Welcome back to Jealous Podcast. Hey, Shelby.
Hey, Mackenzie.
I've missed you.
I have missed you. And after today, I'm like, we need more of this.
Yeah, we need more of this. I think everyone at home can agree.
And then we added Laura on today, and woo!
Laura's great. We're planning her trip back.
Yeah,
Her
or
next
just
series.
when you're done having a baby and all that,
Drinks.
a drink.
Drinks.
And we're going to wear a
Yes.
local dive bar.
Yes, we are. Speaking of which, having a baby, I'm having a baby.
Oh, are we? I'm sorry. I'm not one that announced it.
No, I'm sure people, if you're watching it home, I don't know why I keep saying at home. No one's watching this at home. They're just not.
They might be.
They're in their car.
Yeah,
Or they're
probably.
walking their dog.
Yeah.
They're not at home.
But if you are happening to be watching,
Yeah, there is something going on down here.
a baby being developed.
There's a baby being developed. No big deal. 10 fingers, 10 toes. Yeah, it's exciting. We're really excited.
I'm excited. Little bing bang baby.
There is going to be a new Bing Bang baby. We need to get onesies made. Maybe
Yep.
we can have them made at the vinyl studio.
The vinyl studio is, yes, they're making the onesies, they're making the pacifiers, they're making
everything.
the backpack baby bags.
Yes. We covered a lot of ground with Laura today. She and I have been following each other on Twitter for a long time. We are crushes.
Oh, I didn't
It just
know
came.
that.
It all we all figured it out.
Yeah,
as we
you
were
guys
planning
kept
this.
hinting at it, and I'm like, wait, do they know each other?
Yeah.
You guys are Twitter BFFs. And it showed.
Sorry, not to make you feel left out.
Like at the third wheel over here. I'm just
No.
like, look at me.
No. All eyes on you.
She was awesome. We were both jealous of her and all that she's creating over at Vinyl Studio. And I also learned she has her
Stationary.
yes, that's amazing.
Very cool. She's very, very talented. You can tell she is a visionary mindset. She always has ideas. She's not slowing down anytime soon.
Nope.
So
And
she even hints at things she's going to do in the future.
Yeah, and she could do a lot
She could do a lot. I kind of want to hitch my wagon to that.
depending on the day.
Yeah. Yeah. We feel that.
Some days we're going to do this
Yeah.
and some days we're going to do that.
Yes. Some days I'm not going to do anything at all, but I will brush my teeth. I promise.
At the end of the day, we will brush our teeth
I'll
because
do it at the beginning and the end.
we got to get off our ass and work.
Kim Kardashian.
Which could kind of lead into who are you jealous of at the moment? Is it Kim?
Not right now. I'm also not jealous of Pete Davidson. He's not taking that ride to space.
No.
He chickened out when they pushed it back. He's like, no, I'm not doing it. And I cannot say I blame him. No. They announced his replacement. I don't know who it is.
Would you go to space?
I don't know. No.
Yeah.
No.
Doesn't interest you?
No, it doesn't. You?
Like if I go for free.
Oh. No.
Yeah.
You're just a test monkey at that point, like they used to do. No. I don't know. Do they know enough about it? Maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You can't ever know too much about space. It's not like anyone's up there with a desk, like doing well, I mean, kind of they are. Did you know? Sorry. There is a website called howmanypeopleareinspace.right.now.com or something like that, and you can see how many people are in space at this moment.
Like, whoa, wait.
Yes.
For Earth.
What?
Not like other planets.
People. Shelby.
If you believe in that stuff.
I don't even know where to go from here.
I'll tell you what I'm jealous of.
What? I'm jealous of whatever it is you've got going on in your brain. Talk about on a different planet. I'm sorry. Who are you jealous of?
I was going to say that I'm jealous of people that can make money off DraftKings.
Yeah, you can't.
I'm an emotional bettor. I don't look at the statistics all that well. I'm just like, yeah, I feel good about this team, and I bet on them, and I lose $5 like every weekend.
Yeah, so you're not looking at stats, data, what's proven to work and make people money or not.
Absolutely not.
No, you're looking at like, okay, did that person? I recently just finished the book Green Lights.
Yeah.
By Matthew McConaughey, and he talks about how he gambles and he likes to he bets the same way you do, by emotion. Like, okay, say
It works for him.
quarterback on this football team just had a baby. Well, he is going to work 10 times harder because he just had a baby, and so their team is going to win, and so he's going to put his money there.
Okay, well, I did that. So my Duke Blue Devils, I bet on them for Coach K's last game. I'm like, how cool. I'm going to make like $1. Let's do it. I was a part of it.
So you were making big bets.
Huge.
That's do not break the bank.
We're playing with a lot of money over here.
Mm-hmm.
They lose. I'm like, okay, they lost the last game, ACC tournament. They're going to redeem themselves.
Okay.
Bet on them.
How much this time?
Still, well, this time I did a 3-game parlay.
Okay.
And they
I'm
lost.
already impressed with the parlay.
They lost.
So it's the whole thing's
$5
for
gone.
it.
Yep. So now I'm stopped betting on them because they just kind of, quite frankly, piss me off.
It's Duke. It's Duke. They're show offs. They're them in their blue uniform. I just can't. I just can't. It's too in your face for me.
Yeah? I don't mind them.
I don't know. I hope that St. Who are those little underdogs that are just kicking ass? I sound into sports. Sam, help me out. Lob me. Okay, I was right. St. Peter's.
I bet on them. First round, I had them beating whoever they played.
I must have, because you and I are
We're neck and
tied
neck.
for second.
Yeah.
Although you have more projected points than me. Give me a break.
As I just say, I don't look at stats.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not holding my own in the women's bracket, though. I'm not doing a very good job.
Mask on, mascot is just not working. That's my
Keep listening.
internal bracket name. I
Yeah.
think we talked about that
Okay.
after.
Oh my gosh. We are going completely and entirely off the rails, but this is good. I have missed this. We need our own Shelby Mackenzie time.
Absolutely, and everyone else needs to enjoy it as well.
Enjoy it.
But
enjoy it.
Until then, they're going to enjoy this episode with Laura and embrace all of her awesomeness because she was just amazing to have on. I could have talked to her for, we did. I could have talked to her for hours.
We hung out with her for an hour, at least afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need someone like that in your life, and she'll allude to that in her advice at the end, so listen to the end because she has great advice. But, yeah, she's a badass, and we're rounding out International Women's Month on this episode. So
With a badass woman.
the badass woman.
And a couple of badass women here, if I do
That's
say
right.
so myself.
That's right.
'Kay.
All right. Well, enjoy the episode. All right. Welcome to Jealous Podcast. Laura, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, I think.
Yeah,
We have a nervous Laura, am I right?
We do. I really liked in your reply to Erin, she was like, you accepted. We asked you to come on to the podcast. We targeted you specifically, sent you an email. Will you come on? And you're like, wait, really?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
What you're getting?
Pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we are continuing. This will be the last episode of March, so the last episode that falls within International Women's Month, and we're just highlighting badasses this month. And
Well, that makes sense now. It's all
there we
making sense.
go.
Nerves gone.
Oh, yeah, I am a badass. Yeah. So, yeah, you are a badass woman. You're a business owner. We also love local businesses around here at Bing Bang, so why not bring you on and just talk about what you do? We've got some fangirls. We have some jealous people of you in the office. So, yeah, me being one of them.
Stop. No, keep going.
Yeah. Wait, why? Yeah. Yeah, definitely jealous of what you do, your vision, your space, your product, and we want to just hear everything about it today.
Okay. You say so.
I do.
Well, thanks for having me.
Of course. So, just going to rip the Band-Aid off. Introductions. Who are you?
Oh, gosh. Like, immediately in my head, I say I'm mom, but I guess I'm a mom, a wife, and I own a couple of businesses, and my husband owns a business, so I guess that would be on that list since that's why we're here. And I own the vinyl studio that has a location on 5th Street in Valley Junction, and I also own By Invitation Only, which is a wedding stationery company.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
I could tell you didn't. On your email,
Yeah.
you started the vinyl studio. I did not start the vinyl studio. I bought it, but I did start By Invitation Only like 12 years ago.
And I love that, too, because, I mean, you're using the same half of your brain, the left side of your brain.
Yeah.
But as a business owner, you're also using the right side of your brain, so that's very interesting. Are you more left-sided or are you more right-sided?
I don't even know which side's which. I'm assuming left is creative.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I say that so confidently, and then people are going to be like, actually, I'm sorry. I don't know.
1-star review. She doesn't know what side of the brain.
I'm not a math major. Joke.
Yeah, total left side. My husband's the right. So he keeps me kind of in line with taxes and such. But yeah, total left side, an idea person for sure. I spin out on ideas all the time and have to rein it in. But yeah.
Very cool. Have you always been like that?
Yeah. I mean, ever since I can really remember. But yeah.
Very cool. So the vinyl studio specifically, and I did know, I read your bio about that by invitation only. How did you get into that? Because I know you have a backstory with fashion in New York, and I want to hear everything about it.
Okay, so I was working, so I started my career off in fashion, which was weird because I was a marketing major.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from UNI, and had no,
Hey,
I just
me
always,
too.
really?
Yeah.
I knew we were best friends.
I know. I knew it.
So I didn't ever, I was like going to be a realtor in Des Moines. And then I ended up, the professor of my senior year of college in the marketing department, probably, what's his name, Corbin, maybe? And it doesn't matter, was like, interview a CEO in the field you like to be in. We have 100% rate of getting a job offer off of this interview, basically, right? And so I was like,
I did not get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, let's shoot for the stars, right?
Yeah.
So I called around, called Baby Fat. I don't even know if you guys are too young to know who Kamora Lee Simmons. Like,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember?
She had a reality TV show.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Yes.
So I emailed her, and then I emailed the CEO of J.Lo by Jennifer Lopez, and they got back to me. And so long story short, I ended up working for them. So I moved out to New York, ended up just being in fashion, and it was when she had a clothing line.
Right.
So I was helping with design and product development and stuff there, and then moved around New York a little bit, and then I met my husband, who is from Fort Dodge too. And so, but
In New York?
no, I was back for the 4th of July.
It's always a holiday. Was it at the bar before the night before
Oh my
the 4th
gosh,
of July?
we were on apps. I mean,
You called it.
It always is.
it always is
It always. That's how the best love stories begin, I think.
at bars
Yeah.
in your hometown
Yeah.
of Fort Dodge.
Yeah.
So then he tried to move out there, but it just wasn't working. So I ended up, the field's limited when you are just doing fashion. It's like LA, Dallas, and New York. And so we ended up going to Dallas, and I worked for Fossil. And then we ended up getting engaged, and I got a wedding planner, and she knew I knew all the programs for design. And so she's like, the invitation or the programs didn't show up for the wedding this weekend. Is there any way you can help me out? And so I did, and then she just kept asking. And then I kept hating my job, and I kept hating my job. And then I quit and started doing it full time. And then I rode the Etsy wave. So,
Oh, really?
yeah. I mean, when I first started on Etsy, there was maybe 5 pages of invitations. Now
Oh,
there's
dang.
thousands, you
Yeah.
know?
I was just going to say, let's talk about Etsy for a second, how that has changed
Oh my
in
gosh.
such a short amount of time. And
Yeah.
then COVID hit, and I feel like exploded even more.
Yeah, I actually backed way off of Etsy maybe, I don't know, like a year ago. And I closed it down then at the end of the year, at the end of 2021. Because it was just like, it's just so different.
Right.
Everybody wants you to respond immediately. And I
Oh.
just don't have the bandwidth to do that. So
Yeah.
I closed it down. I actually just reopened it this morning after a dream last night.
No way.
We do that too.
Oh, my gosh.
So I don't
We act
know.
on our dreams.
It's supposed to be like the biggest year of weddings. I'm like, why not take a couple orders here and there, or just see how it goes, see if there's
Yeah.
even any interest. I mean, it's been a long time since I've been on there, and
So when you shut it down, did you have everything come through your website then, or
I just kind of stopped because we redid the storefront at the Vinyl Studio in November, end of October, November, and it just started to we started to get a ton of walk-ins where we did not have that before. It was like occasional walk-in here and there, but it went crazy. So I could not focus on both things. It just
Right.
wasn't working for me. So I shut it down just to do Christmas at the Vinyl Studio. And I was like, well, this is kind of nice not to just be stressed out all the time.
Oh, all the
real.
time.
So I took a couple months off of it.
Well, it kind of makes sense too. Like the stationery, I can see how it weaves in with what you do at Vinyl Studio now, and how it coincides so
Yep.
well. So how did you? Because you said you bought Vinyl Studio.
Yes.
How did you? Did you change a lot of things, or how did you enhance to make it your own?
How much time you got?
Where'd you
All
start?
day. Yeah. Start from the beginning.
Part 4.
Yeah, I could do a whole year of podcasts on buying a business, and unfortunately, we thought we were buying something different than what we bought.
Right.
Anyway, so since then, we've really been trying to figure out how to make it successful. There is not, I mean, if somebody's out there listening that can prove me wrong, please do. Please call me immediately. But there's just not a lot of profit in pure screen printing.
Yeah.
That being said, when I bought the vinyl studio, it was a lot of like, I don't know, do you guys know vinyl, like crafting vinyl?
Yep.
Okay, so it was a lot of that. And it kind of looked real great from the surface, but then you got into it and it was so expensive. The vinyl is so expensive. Like to pay somebody to press the vinyl, it's like by the time, it's just, it makes zero money. So we weeded that out really quick. Aha, pun intended if you do vinyl. You do weed vinyl. But, so we weeded that out quickly and then started to focus more on screen printing. And, and as the years progressed, we're like, okay, there's a little profit here, not much. And then we started messing with our minimum quantity orders. And then it got better. And then we started focusing on, okay, we can't compete with the Broken Arrows of the world.
Right.
We just can't. We're not a warehouse for this little tiny thing. And I don't want to be a warehouse. God forbid. I can't manage anybody, let alone a whole one. So we're going to focus on design. That's what I'm best at, I feel. But let's focus on design. People who want to sell merch don't want generic clip art. So that's kind of where and I mean, I know this isn't new. I mean, other people do this too, but like, we just had to work through the process of that. And so that's kind of where we're at today. And then also heavily focusing on our storefront and selling our own merch.
Yeah.
Because there's a higher markup in that versus wholesaling to people.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So what made you want to buy Vinyl Studio in the first place then?
Okay. So my mom lives on a lake, Twin Lakes, and it's right by Fort Dodge, and they needed T-shirts. This was, 10 years ago probably, and I just designed a T-shirt, and they just took off, right? And then my husband and I, years later, were like, let's diversify a little bit. He owns a flag company 2 doors down from me, Martin's Flag, and so
No way.
They're just a little couple of entrepreneurs over there.
Yeah, they are. And I've been in there.
Oh, you
It's like so niche, but it's like that gifts and things.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? Let's bring it full circle.
Okay.
I think he did the flags at Vermeer. I think that's why I know
Really?
the name. Is there flags there out
Yes.
front? Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. I
Oh
think he
yeah. Well, there's at the Global Pavilion.
Yeah.
There are like all of the
did.
flags.
Okay. I know that name from somewhere, and
Yeah.
I bet you that's it.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
Yeah.
Small
So
world.
anyway, diversification. I had done those shirts before. It was design oriented. Let's look for a screen printing company. And
Right.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That is so
Yeah.
cool.
I took one screen. So I graduated in the summer. I thought I had, this is a little backstory. I share too much, but I thought I had graduated May, And I was driving home in the middle of the summer. I don't know. And the admissions office called me and they're like, you were short 1 hour.
Oh my God.
This is
or
my
something.
nightmare.
Yeah. Oh God, mine too.
It's
It's owing someone money that I didn't realize I owed money and not graduating college. And so
As you're living your best life driving.
I'm driving across the state to actually through Fort Dodge up to Storm Lake, where my boyfriend at the time, husband now, lived. And they're like, "You were short," and I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" No. So yes, I was, and I had to go back
Stop.
and like.
Because online
Couch.
school wasn't.
Not really.
could
No,
have,
Not when
sir.
Jesus was around.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Just take a credit like
Yeah.
PE.
Yeah, exactly. So I took a screen printing class.
Really?
And it was my very last class ever. And I'm like, shit, I think I want to be it was the best time.
Yeah.
It was
Join
the
me
best
in.
time. Yeah. It was so much fun. And the professor, I cannot remember his name at the time, but made it so much fun. Oh my gosh, the screens and the spraying them out and the
Yeah.
black. Oh my gosh.
We have more of an automatic, like it's all
Which is
automatic.
good.
Yeah, praise be. I could not, and I didn't know anything about screen printing either before we bought it.
Really?
And I didn't actually learn. I've owned it for probably 5 years now, and I didn't actually learn the screen printing process until this past summer.
Really?
Nope.
Well, I mean,
No, I'm kidding.
you just have to know as a business owner, like
Yeah.
what you're doing, what the product is, and that people are happy and that there's profit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
So-
I had a really good screen printer for a long time, and then he moved to Oregon, so that's why I had
Oh,
to kind of learn. So.
That sounds about right. Like a creative moving to
Yep.
Oregon where everything is just creative
Artsy.
and
Yeah.
artsy. I
So-
can see that.
Then I had to learn it, and it's hard. But
You did it
it's-
yourself then?
did.
You just rolled
Shut
up your
up.
sleeves and did it. What a
All by
Betsy.
yourself.
I know. I don't know. So I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So, the vinyl studio recently, it kind of popped onto our radar because of the whole Caitlin Clark. I want to know more about that. How did that happen? How cool! I wish that we would have recorded this, before this
Yeah,
weekend.
I
But
know.
whatever, still
It's okay.
amazing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I still can't believe she's who she is because she's the most regular person. Her whole family is the best. Like, I know I've met her mom and her aunt, and I'm like, when are we going to drinks, guys?
Yeah.
Like, just the best people, and yeah, salt of the earth. So anyway, how they found us was they had some of our shirts, and they're like, well, what's this? And then bless this little Caitlin's heart, she wanted to go with a woman-owned business for her shirts and her merch and stuff like that. And I'm like, at 9, she was then
Badass.
19. I
Yeah.
know. What?
I just wouldn't have been able to think
I was
that.
like, where's the bush lights when I was 19?
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
I remember natty lights.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. Some of those too. But yeah, I never even thought that far, when I was 19 years old. But she did, and she came in, and we were just talking, and I really didn't even know who she really was. I mean, my husband had told me that there was this girl from Dowling that was getting highly recruited, and I kind of remembered that. But they just sort of came in and let us know what they were looking for and brought me on to do that end of it. So
That's so awesome. Yeah, she's amazing.
I mean, and like, it's so funny because we have worked with influencers, more Instagram fashion influencers in the past, and have done collaborations and sold them. And talk about an influencer. This girl, I mean, like, we would sell a few, decent, but she sold out of those. She did the law firm shirts with her and her teammate Monica. They sold out within 12 hours.
Oh,
And it was overnight. She didn't even launch them until 9:30 p.m. And then did another reprint and sold out by that evening. And
oh
like
my.
hundreds of shirts, mind you.
That is
Right.
so cool.
And I just am like, the good on you. Go, not
Yes.
to be like, you go girl culture, but you go
Yeah.
girl.
Boss babe.
I know. I know. And it's just been so fun to watch her and root for her and
Yeah.
see the excitement in her family's eyes. And
Yeah.
it truly is a family deal. Well, she is lucky that way too. Like, talking about business it's her family, it's her team. And so she's so fortunate to have that, because they have told me that there have been other athletes that weren't so fortunate, to have a good, support system.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think you'd probably see that a lot, especially as the attention comes
Yeah.
on. And
And they're kids,
Yeah.
I can make $100. Sure. Where do I sign?
Right,
And not
exactly.
realizing what you're getting into, I guess.
definitely, we've been talking a lot. We could have another podcast about that name, image, likeness thing. That's,
Oh, yeah.
and it's just brands signing with these kids. We'll call them what they are. They're kids.
Yeah, they're kids.
It's like you're going to attach your brand to this 18-year-old without any thought about it. And they're great kids because they're athletes and things, but they're still kids.
I know.
They're still kids. So I think it's really cool. I'm excited to see where it goes. This partnership was definitely, I loved it. I loved everything about it. They look cool. Caitlin, you, women owned. I love it.
I know. I was just really amazed by her. I don't know, maturity, I guess, is a cheesy, easy word to use, but
She's
it's more than
just,
that.
she's an old soul or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's just cool.
She's cool.
She is.
She is cool. So on that same note, you're a business owner, but you're a woman. So have there been, and you're a mom.
Yeah.
What has that balance been like for you?
I wouldn't know.
Still looking for it.
Still trying to
it.
find that balance. I am awful at it, but
Why do
I
you say
I
that?
think
Why do you
it's-
think you're awful at it?
because I can't turn it off. ever. And, you know, like speaking of social media and stuff, it's hard. Like that crept in my life big time about a year ago, like during the pandemic when we all got kind of sucked into it.
Yeah.
And we were trying to really win social media, and that crept in my mind. I was thinking about it too much and worried about it. And I pushed that back like maybe 6 months ago too. And it's so then I feel like truly now my balance has gotten so much better being a mom and a business owner since I did that.
Since you pushed
it back.
like you're not prioritizing it as much, or you're having
Not
someone else take care of it?
So I had my personal account, which I was posting stuff for, and then I had a business account. The vinyl studio stuff's easy. I mean, I just take some pictures of shirts, so that wasn't bad. But the personal stuff was too much for me and my brain.
Yeah, it's hard.
So yeah,
It
so
is hard.
that's now I've had a little bit better balance, but other than that, like if I have too many, you know, irons in the fire, I'm constantly thinking about the next thing, which I do anyway. But when it gets to be too much, then it's just, you know, it takes over, and I just have to take some of those irons out that fire.
You have to. We talk about this all the time, especially Shelby and I here. We share a lot of the same brain a lot.
Yeah.
And we are definitely on the creative side. And so it's 3 a.m., it's 6 a.m., it's 5:45, you know, it's just like all day. And even this morning I was like, you're on the podcast, right? And she's like, what? I was like, well, I was going to send you that text at 5 o'clock this morning, but I didn't want to do that again to you the fourth time. And it is so true. You have to like pare it down, even though that's the hardest thing to say to someone like you and like you and to myself. It is so hard to just say like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Even though that's what I've been doing every day for the past how many years?
I know.
It's difficult. So you would suggest doing that though?
Taking some irons out?
Yeah.
Oh, take the irons out that fire. If you can, if you're fortunate enough
Yeah.
to be able to take an, you know, and I, you know, we can't do all things well. But I do I just shouted, sorry. But I do think, I got a little fired up.
I like it.
I do think it's a good way to explore those ideas, to see what you really like, and end up paring it down even in a more thoughtful way because you have the experience with it. Like, for example, during the pandemic when everybody was like, how are we going, you know, you just panic. How are we going to get separated? That's dramatic. But,
No, it's true.
you know,
Yeah.
like you're just like, what can I do? What can I add to my portfolio here that can make me money or whatever? So we added social media to the vinyl studio to do social media for, oh boy, that was, it was a learning curve, and I'm glad I discovered I never wanted to do it ever again for a different company. It's just so much.
It's so much. It uses, we talked about left brain, right brain at the beginning, but it uses like parts of your
Lord.
brain you didn't even
Yeah.
know existed because you are our social media master.
Are you?
Oh, she is. She truly
So I'm
is.
relating to, I'm like, okay, like I have all these clients and brands. I'm like, okay, that will be good for this one, and that'll be good for us, and that'll be, so I compartment.
I got it. No need.
Thank you. Again, left side. We don't do words. But yeah, I do. I have to do that.
But that, it would help be one thing if that was your, and I know that's probably overwhelming for you, but if you have that, and then you have this, and you have that, and you have that, you know, like you can't do all things well.
Right.
But it's, people don't realize, I say that, most people don't realize it's a long haul for social media, right? It's a long game, yeah? And so it's expensive because how much time you spend on it, right? And then all of a sudden your bills are racking up and you're like, why haven't I grown 1,000 followers this month? Well, it's
And they cut it.
Yeah.
And it's so important for that longevity of your business as well.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, now there's like different ways to grow than just strictly posting, and it's hard to convince people of that. And
I have that struggle every day
yeah.
in my mind.
Yeah.
And, yeah, depending on their age too. When you talk to them about it, it's just like sometimes it's just like you explain it to them and you have hit all the points, and it's still just like, okay, but why haven't my followers?
Right. I
done
need the ROI, and I'm like, I don't have it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, isn't it so true that when you do make a post and you say a big corporation gets 20 likes?
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. I'm not going through liking corporations, but I do know, oh yeah, I saw you guys were doing that thing from that post on social media. Doesn't mean I'm going to like it, but I think it's brand awareness and it's all good. And even one like is a good like, you know, it doesn't necessarily, that was the hard thing I had, is like equating likes with success.
Yeah.
We talk about that, especially just back to the topic, like jealous. jealousy, and especially on the personal side, the highlight reel side, where people are posting their highlight reel of their life and how you can scroll and you're working your ass off and you're trying to put so much effort in, and then you see a freaking 19-year-old with 563 likes, and you're like, what the hell? Like, that's not even that cute of an outfit. What is going on?
But then you have to go back and think, that's not what I'm doing. That's not my lane. This is my lane. And like back to your engagement thing, like I always say, engagement is engagement. I don't care what type of engagement it is. Like I will take it.
Yeah.
But
makes the algorithm happy. The algorithm god's happy. Whatever. And it's a game. It's a game. At the end of the day, it is a game. It's like and it's always changing, and the goalposts are always moving, which is so hard.
And unfair.
You just get good at something and then they change the rules. And you're like, what the? That's not fair.
Yeah. It's not fair. And it's so weird how some things you're like, I'm killing it. I'm killing it. And then you post it and you're like, I didn't kill it at all.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? But
do you feel like as a creative person, you have to do something like 5 creative things a day, or just like hit that quota?
I don't tell me that. Now I'm going to.
No, I don't think so. Me personally, I just feel like I'm like if I'm not creating or doing something in that creative way, I feel like.
Oh, I definitely feel like spitting across her. But I definitely feel the need to create. Like when I did that screen printing, I was like, okay, that's one form of create, but I'm so design centric that I need to do something in design occasionally, otherwise I get bummed out.
Do you come up with all of like the fun sayings on your shirts and stuff, or like how does that come about?
I have a team that helps, or like I have friends, sons. If I had a nickel for every I know what shirt you should make. Like, I bet you do, Uncle Mike. What is it? Email it to me.
Uncle Mike.
Send you a copy.
God damn it. He's always coming up with new ideas.
Oh, he's a hoot.
He's the one like on your Instagram post.
I knew she'd get a like out of that one. Sorry, I've been practicing my accents today, and I don't. Some of them are kind of offensive. They're like very southern. I don't know.
We're going country.
I feel it's the easiest one for us Iowans to do is the southern one.
is.
So I always kind of default to southern.
I do too.
When I'm accenting, like, what am I talking about?
I'm like down in Missouri doing it. They're like, what are you doing?
We're not that far south.
I know. They're like, you're still from Iowa. Like, let's calm down.
Level it out. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite design that you've done, and you're just like, that is?
Oh, well, I mean, I get so fickle because I see them. And if you, walk in your shop and see them every day, I'm like, oh, that one's old news. I mean, I just, that's not really a design. I made a shirt that said the Vinyl Studio on the back, and it was literally the cutest freaking thing. But, oh my gosh, how do I not?
I have a favorite.
What?
The dive bar one.
Oh,
I love that.
I love the dive bar.
Say locals on it.
Yeah, support your local dive bar.
That's it.
That's where it came from.
Is that where it came from?
I wonder if that's where it came from. Well, I was having a conversation with her, and I'm like, the name Locals came up because I was just on your site because I'm like, I need a new Hawkeye shirt or something. And I was going through your T-shirts, and this name for something we're working on, Locals, came up. Mm-hmm. I'm like, where did I see that or hear that? And I wonder if that was it.
Maybe. I hope
you
so.
inspired creativity with me.
Look at this. Full circle.
Sit next to me all day.
I know, right? Take your fires out and put them on.
I know. Oh, my gosh. I love that.
But when you take those wrenches out of the fire, too, do you notice, like, it opens space for, like, more creativity to come in?
That's dangerous.
Yeah, I know. Because I am looking for the next thing or the next direction to push the Vinyl Studio. And I feel like I'm on kind of like, I don't know, the verge of something different, like a, a fork in the road. Mm-hmm. What am I going to do? Have I taken the Vinyl Studio as far as I can? Mm-hmm. Or where should I go in the future with it?
Yeah.
That's going to be, I definitely want to err more design-centric, like I said. Excuse me, but I'm looking to either diversify that business or do something else.
Yeah. Would you ever merge, and this is probably not an appropriate question, but your stationery business with the Vinyl Studio together?
I've thought about that, but there's an element of me that does not want a local bride. Mm-hmm. I love them. I work with, Maya Wildflower. She's one of my main clients, but I work with brides from a wedding planner in San Diego
Oh.
and Pittsburgh. That's what I narrowed it down to. I was like, I'll keep these 3 planners on board and just kind of do a couple things. But it's when they're local, it's like, it's God bless them, and it makes total sense. They want to meet with you, and then they want to meet with you, and then it's like, which they're warranted, and they should meet with
And
whoever
her
they
Uncle
want to.
Mike has changes to her invitation, and he wants to
Exactly.
come to the next meeting.
So then
He has
3
an
hours,
idea.
yeah. So then 3 hours later, and then the wedding's canceled, or like they move on to somebody else, and it's like it's just so much time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of that balance, I've learned that I can't do that. I can't take because I've thought about, oh, maybe I should get a paper shop in there, but also this is another lesson of the day that I want to scream from the rooftops. You got to sell a lot of $3.50 cards to make a living. You know what I mean? And I noticed that too from T-shirts. I didn't realize it before I bought that business. You got to sell a lot of $24 T-shirts to make a living too. So I feel like in my next venture, I would really try to look at something a little like with invitation orders. They're expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
And they should be. They're time taking in that, but like it's a lot less of the scrappy kind of getting all the orders you can and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's why I kind of straight against it. And to get those $3.50 cards takes a lot of time as well.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Yeah.
probably not, but I have thought about it.
I hear you. I used to have an Etsy shop, and it was like, yeah, I did. It was
Whoa.
called Prince Charming, where I did digital
Stop. That's
prints.
so cute though. Digital prints, maybe.
Yeah, but it was pet. Like I would do anything. I would do cards. I would do anything. But what was kind of popular there for a while was people would send me their pet, and then I
Oh,
do
yeah.
pet portraits. And I mean, it was so much fun, but it took so much time, and people are picky about
Yes.
their pets. And I was
Oh.
like, I thought I nailed it, and then they're like, he has this little freckle like under it. And I was
can't.
like, I can't tell.
Did you
that
just
from
like-
this grainy ass photo that's like taken in the dark? Like I can't tell. I just shut it down. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Aggressive out there.
Yeah, it is.
Did
It's
you just do it in like iPad Pro or what did you do?
Illustrator?
Illustrator?
Yeah, mouse and Illustrator. Yeah, and I would just take their picture. Yeah, I loved it. I loved channeling my creativity in that way. But you are so right. It was not. It wasn't no profit.
Yeah.
And it was a side hustle, and I had. I was becoming a mom. I had this incredible job. I was like, I can't do that to myself anymore
Yeah.
over one cat. No cat's worth it. No cat's worth my sanity. I'm sorry.
It's so true, but you learned your lesson, right? Like you just have to keep on trucking, and I feel like us creatives, it's good for us to kind of itch that scratch, see,
Yes.
is this what I want to do? Because it could lead to the next thing,
Yeah.
or
Absolutely.
it could lead to not doing the next thing,
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's like meetings or sessions like this with other like-minded people, because the more of that you have, the more inspiration. Like something could come across your radar
Yeah.
that you never even considered, but you're like, wow, I'm drawn to that. And
Yeah.
it's cool. Like that power in community and the collaboration over comparison type competition. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
I feed off that for sure.
Oh, definitely. You just don't you get the buzz like after
for
you
sure.
like I just like I'm buzzing around.
Yeah.
That's why the best like brainstorm sessions are like at the bar and have drinks are flowing
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh my God, that's a good idea. And then
Yeah.
you keep going off ideas. Oh, that's
And then
my
the next
favorite.
day you're like, a lot of those were really stupid.
But
there's a couple in there.
Yeah. That's embarrassing.
So like as of today, like where do you see, like what is your future with business or life, or where do you see yourself headed?
It's interesting you asked that because I've really been thinking a lot about that lately, just trying to figure out where I want to go. And I don't know. Truth be told, I was at one of those meetings. One of my dear friends is similar spirited. And, we were talking about there's a huge hole. Don't take my idea. Okay. Okay. But there's a huge hole. I'm 40, and there's a huge hole in like Pinterest pictures for 40-year-olds, or just people who don't like. How do I wear that trend that they look so cute wearing, but I can't go to car pick up like that,
Right.
looking like a you know, oh, did you see Laura trying to look 16? You know,
Whatever. You were walking in, by the way, side note, and we're like, God damn it. Look how cute she looks. And I'm like trying to cover this.
Oh,
like,
Lord.
What?
You are darling. That's nice of you to say, but it is very untrue. I feel like but I just feel like there's a hole somewhere, and I don't know if I want to help. Not that I'm I don't want to be like, oh, I'm the only one who can say that what we should do as 40-year-old ladies, but I would like to help some people who I've wanted help. You know, I've gone to Pinterest, like, you know, tailgate outfits or whatever. And there's a hole for people my age or that, you know, I guess you don't have to be even my age to, you know, wonder what you should wear that's not trying to look too young or whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with looking too young, but I don't specifically want to do that myself. And I know there's other like-minded people out there. So I don't know what that even means. What's that mean? Who knows? But that's been on my mind.
That's cool because you're even seeing that like older women, I have air quotes, represented in like more film and TV shows and stuff just because there has always been that gap. It's always like the young 20-something-year-old and it's like, okay, well, what about me? I don't feel like I'm represented in media at all. So I love that. I think that's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah. And I do have a fashion design background, but I know like the market's so saturated. You're not supposed to say that. But I've been thinking about that. And, like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Start my own Pinterest app for, what would we call it?
Yeah, let's brainstorm.
Yeah, we can brainstorm. Shut these off.
Thank you for tuning in.
Anyway, we got to go by.
But or does that mean starting my, you know, I have kind of a line already with the vinyl studio. We have our own brand there, but is it an extension of that with more, you know, I don't know, marketed specifically towards women that want to wear the trends but don't want to wear the trends exactly like the 20-year-olds are wearing. If that makes any sense.
It definitely makes a ton of sense. And you, just your expertise that you have, it's such a, no one, where else would they go for that?
I know.
Locally, especially.
And tell me if there's a place I'd love to use it. You know, I would love to, you know, be a customer of some sort of platform that would help me with those types of trends that I don't always have the time to think about or to, you know, figure out of my own closet, like how to wear these pieces with that if you want to look like this.
Yeah.
This plus this equals this. That's what it's going to be called. Such a simple name. Rolls right off the tongue.
You have your first subscriber right here because I changed my clothes 14 times before I left the house, and this is what I ended up with.
Oh, you're darling.
Thanks. That's nice.
She is the cutest little bumpin' mom around here.
You should have seen me. Oh, and I worked from home at the time. I feel like that's another thing that I don't know if you're anything like me, if you get in your hole of like maternity wear that's like at home maternity wear looks a lot different than this.
Loungy.
It's with like my husband's old sweatshirts. And you know, the more you do that, as I'm speaking for myself, the more I did that, the less great I felt about myself.
Absolutely. So
I feel like you are moving in the right darn direction.
Thanks. Yeah. But my kids will be like, Mommy, put your, they're my like giant pajama pants. I'm like, thanks. I'm not wearing those to work. I know. I'm like, that's what
but
you
give
think
them to
about
me.
Yeah. I was like, but I'm going to wear them. So it's fine. Oh my gosh.
The angels.
They are.
Just those angels.
Those are baby hearts.
Do you have two or?
I have two boys.
Okay.
Yes. Two boys and probably.
You think it's another boy?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
boys
do.
love their mama though.
They do. A friend of mine just had another little boy, and I was like kind of sad, like, you know, I think I need a girl. But then I saw that little precious baby boy. I'm like,
oh,
he's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girls
Girls
are fun
are
too.
amazing too.
How many kids do you have?
Just two.
A girl and a boy, or?
Nice.
So we were like a dunzo.
Yep,
so.
we got what we wanted.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, is raising them here in Des Moines different than like how you were raised in Fort Dodge, or I mean,
Yes.
yeah,
Just smidge.
right. I'm from a small town.
Are you?
So yes, very small, and we're actually moving back there.
You are?
Yeah, and so I'm like, you know, is that right? I'm not trying to make them match my experience at all, but I'm like, it would have been interesting raising kids just differently than how I was.
Yeah, and I don't know which one I'd choose. I guess if I like back against the wall, if I like Fort Dodge is 25,000 people, but I don't know. I mean, there's so many more opportunities, I guess, for like sports and stuff.
Yeah.
We were just talking about like competitive sport culture though, and I don't know if I'm ready for all that. So maybe I would go back.
Right. I know.
No, but I actually I crave city. So I miss like Dallas and I miss New York.
yeah.
But I wouldn't go back there, but I don't think I'd go back the other way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Des Moines is such a great size and
It's
something for everyone. And
It is. We've been talking a lot about just Des Moines and some projects that are going on. We're like, it's a place that you may overlook, and I think a lot of people do overlook it. But once you stop here and you take a look around, you're like, oh my God, there's so much, and there's so much artistry and creativity, and it's just it's a cool place.
Yeah.
And I think we're lucky.
And the small town of it all can be to your, advantage as a business owner here.
Yeah.
If people, it's easier to get the word out, but it's still big enough that that's great to do,
Yeah.
There's definitely still places that don't know about the Final Studio, that's for sure. So that's...
Not after this podcast.
I take it back. I stand corrected.
Oh, I'm just kidding. I gotta get that social media under control. Shelby has it under control.
No, I love your guys' social. It's fun.
It is. Well, this has been so much fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Can you come back?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Please.
I'll make it work.
We're going to make you leave us with 2 pieces of advice. It could be advice on anything, business, life, drinks, whatever, what have you.
Okay. Okay. On the spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say number 1 would be align yourself with like-minded people, but it doesn't have to overtake. You can still have all those different friends, but it's always great to have a friend with the same interests and somebody to be able to go on those, trips to the bar and collaborations like that. I feel like, you are what you eat. You are who your friends are too a little bit. So it's nice to align yourself with people with like-minded ideas, values, but also, don't ditch everybody else in your life. But it's good to have those people in your life. So if you don't have one, join a group. Come on a podcast.
Oh, join us in our little community.
Please, please.
Second piece of advice. Oh, gosh. Never be afraid to try. Try it. And it's funny how... and we did have a differing opinion on that Kim Kardashian clip about, what did she say? Get your asses up and work or whatever.
Oh,
Yes.
I don't think she was speaking to the people that I don't know her,
Yeah.
I know.
But I do feel like it isn't out of reach to do a lot of things that seem out of reach. And so if you just try, and if you do work your ass off, things are attainable that you never knew were possible.
Yes.
Yes.
And I will say, that is great advice. It just didn't hit me right coming from Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. No. The message is there.
No. I got it. I'm with you. I know. It's true. You do kind of have to get up off your ass and try it.
You do.
Otherwise, you'll be sitting there 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now.
Yeah.
What if I would have tried it?
Yeah.
Because then you're going to see it. Someone else is going to do it, and you're going to be like, God damn it.
Yeah. And there's not my husband, who grew up in a family that they had jobs that were 9 to 5s, and there's obviously a place for that, but his spirit was different. And my dad has always been a serial entrepreneur. So when we married, and he was like, wait, you can own your own job or your own business. And then now he's owned one for, 10 years. And that's his true passion, is owning a business. Cool. And he had no idea. So back to, again, align yourself with those types of people, and don't be afraid to try. It was real. Okay. So, I'll shut up after a minute.
No,
Hopefully you
don't.
can cut
Please
this
keep
out.
talking.
No.
He wants to take it.
No.
But, oh, fuck, I forgot what I was going to fucking say. Son of a bitch.
I was so excited.
I probably fucked it up again because I can't shut
Probably
up.
floating out there with my
Yeah,
idea.
it is. Look
over
at them. There they go. Orbs into the sunset.
Oh, this is what I was going to say. Okay, so being from a family that had 9 to 5 jobs and a steady paycheck every, Friday or whatever it is, my husband did not want to start a business, because to start a business means giving up that salary, right? So it's really important for him to buy one. So I feel like either way, both are possible. You just have to figure out what better suits you, because there are loans, and being a woman in business is definitely an advantage. There's, there's different grants and such you can sign up for too. And So you can definitely buy a business and you can definitely start your own. Start your own is easier because it can start as a side hustle, like your cat drawings.
Yeah.
Right?
Cat.
Yeah. But you
Are
can
you going to restart that?
let's fire that up.
Still have Instagram. If you want to look at it.
Shameless plug.
Don't look.
But, those are easy to start on the side, very small budgets. But
Yeah.
you can also buy one too if you have your sights set on
Yeah.
something. So, but yeah, don't be afraid to try either way.
It goes back to like working your ass off. Like that looks different for
Yeah.
everyone too.
It
It could be
does.
just starting a side hustle
Yep.
or buying a business. So like everyone has their own form of it, and
Yeah.
you just gotta find yours.
Yeah. Well, that's a quote for a wall.
Baby.
Or t-shirt. I don't know.
Yeah,
be long.
we can talk later.
I'll ask my Uncle Mike which one he likes.
Uncle Mike. God bless him. Oh my gosh, Laura, thank you. Shelby, thank you. Thank you both.
yes.
This
Thank
is
you,
so
guys.
much fun. When this baby pops out, we need drinks. Okay?
Yes, yes,
Is that
yes.
cool?
I love it.
All right. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.